Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode in this beginner guide series. And as always, I'm here with Zuri.
Greetings.
And yeah, this time we're gonna go kill some biters. We got our tanks up here, got some poison, got some distractors, and when we get back, there's a little something to touch on in regards to logistics and wire connections, which is pretty interesting. But we'll get into that when we return here. Oh god, the lag.
Yeah, the lag shows up real good when you're driving a vehicle.
Oh yeah, it can be really dangerous. Alright, so let's see if I can make it through here without blowing something up.
I'm blowing up a forest, I guess.
That works. Just ran over a rock here. Pretty decent sized iron patch up here too. Oh, here comes a dude. Big spitter. So yeah, there you go, distractors. I mean, that'll be easier to tell on the base, but they just sit there. They do decent damage though, and they do draw aggro, hence their name.
Wow, that's a lot of worms.
Yep.
And, oops, water.
Oh no. Yeah, so the distractors, I mean, they're not like super tough, so they are dying pretty quickly, but the good news is they're drawing aggro pretty well. And if you throw them right on top of a base, it can be really good because it obviously guarantees that they're in range to hit the base, and then like the melee guys, like the actual biters, not the spitters, can't really hit them because they're on top of the base.
Never mind me repairing my tank.
Just hop out in the middle of battle and start repairing it. And I mean, they do decent damage. They're a lot better in higher numbers, for sure. Alright, so got some goop from that. Alright, let's take a look here. Are there any others we should go kill?
I'm scanning the map and not really seeing any immediate dangers.
Yeah.
We can always just split up and start rampaging.
Yeah, we could do that
Try
for...
get some goop.
Sounds good to me. Gonna need a lot of that goop. Yeah, so I'll grab this one kind of right up north here. Almost out of poison, but that's okay. Man, this is a really heavily forested map.
That's usually a good thing because it stifles the pollution, absorbs it, and stops it from spreading.
True. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, when you throw them in pretty high numbers, they do pretty decent. And I'm out of fuel. Great.
Ruh-roh.
Luckily I had some wood on me. So yeah, I know a lot of people when they first start can definitely have problems fighting the aliens, so hopefully this is helping some people see that, I mean, even this late in the game, with big biters and spitters, you can still use like mid-game tech like the tank and stuff, and it's pretty effective if you're a little bit cautious and don't go completely nuts with it.
And then there's that big base to the west that I buzzed before. I think I'm gonna try to buzz it again for kicks and giggles.
Alright, I'll head up that way just in case something goes horribly wrong. So yeah, distractors with destroyers too, once you throw those in the mix, is extremely good because the destroyers, oh dear, destroyers, they do electric damage. So yeah, it's a little bit, it's obviously different than laser, which can help, and they'll actually follow you around, so anything chasing you will get pretty pulverized as well. I'm gonna use up the rest of my guys here. And there we go. And I mean, distractors aren't horribly expensive. I mean, they're not cheap, but you can use quite a few of them and not have to worry a ton.
It helps if you set up a mega production, kind of like what we've done. I mean, most mid-game bases probably wouldn't have that large of a smelting area, but I highly recommend doing that anyway.
Yeah. Definitely will help. And I mean, also, obviously, this is multiplayer, and it goes fast with 2 people, so um, if you're playing by yourself, you might not have quite this big of a setup at this point, but you can still do pretty good. Or you might, I mean, if you just really scale your production super quickly.
Yeah, I'm used to Anti-Elite's doing his slightly more than 2-hour speed run to launch the rocket.
Oh yeah, that is ridiculous. I mean, that's just like, I mean, I've watched a stream or 2 of his doing it. It's just unbelievable to be able to go from start to complete finish in like 2.5 hours.
Time to get repaired and resupplied. You're slightly outside the range, though.
Oh, fail. Yeah, I tend to not use robots as much as I should. Ouch. So that's pretty good. I don't know about you, but I got like 100 goop.
I got about 56, but like I said earlier, I was killing a bunch of stuff off screen. I've got
True.
about 1 fusion reactor, 5 shields, and 4 exoskeletons.
Wow.
All I need is 4 more goop, and I can build a.
Hmm?
Yeah, I can build the Pyro Armor Mark II.
Oh yeah, we need the level 3 modules though.
Yeah, we need to build that.
Yeah, definitely should get on that here. I think I'm actually gonna probably just leave my tank here if I can remember that it's actually here. Maybe. Maybe not.
You can always pick it up and put it in your pocket.
True. Probably the best plan, actually. Gotta love how you can carry the tank around in your pocket.
Headcanon Capsules Corp.
And actually, how are we doing on oil? I think we might have an oil issue. I don't see any full barrels in the network.
Well, I guess that means we really need to step up on the speed modules and start beaking out the pump jacks and maybe expanding oil industry too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like pretty much all these are getting pretty low. Um, yeah, we should throw some speed modules in here. And do you usually put productivity in your refineries when stuff gets low, or do you just not do that?
Usually I do, yes. It
Okay.
slows it down a little bit overall, but it uses like 30% less oil.
Right, which is really nice. So that's two options for you guys. If if your oil wells start getting low, they won't ever go below 0.1 a second, but you can throw speed modules in those, and then if you want to go even farther, beacon those and get them to pump as much as they possibly can, and then you can throw the productivity in into your refineries so you can get essentially extra free oil products each. Well, not each time, but after a few times you get a whole free round.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I want to build the next build for the module chains.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that. Wow, I forgot that the level 3 modules actually take an artifact apiece.
Yeah, they are very expensive, but
Yeah,
very
damn.
worth it.
Mm-hmm. I'm still like super creeped out about how there's a face in the alien artifacts.
Yeah, I noticed that a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember you making a forum post on that. Okay, so we actually don't have productivity 3 yet, which we don't need necessarily.
Okay, we do have enough goop in the system to research that, and we probably
Yep.
should research that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we're actually being held up pretty heavily on oil, if I had to guess. Maybe not. Oh yeah, there's like no plastic going to the advanced circuits and like no batteries hardly.
Well, there's always something to fix.
Pretty much. That's Factorio always fixing stuff. Let me see if there's any easy oil wells we can grab as well as speeding up the ones we have.
Oh, there's a nice big cluster um, northeast of the base, and I think
Yeah.
it's close enough to just run a chain of roboports too.
Oh yeah. Kind of up by the copper patch, you mean? A little bit.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a good idea. Yeah. So I'll start throwing together some pump jacks here.
yeah. Our base is going to expand to that point anyway. Really, the
Yeah,
solar field alone is going to ease up.
yeah, the solar field is going to get quite large. So I mean, because solar does take up more room than steam power, I believe.
Yeah, it takes up a lot more room.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of a trade-off. There's people like Colonel Will. If anyone watches his stream, uh, he's had a base or two that is like completely steam powered. So is some other people.
If I'm reading the icons right on the latest Friday facts, they plan on adding that as a achievement. Something like
Oh,
the rocket without building any solar panels or placing any, I think.
oh wow, that would be quite interesting.
Because you still need to build solar panels for the satellite. So it can't be not build any, you just can't place any.
Right, that would make the most sense. Yeah, so I mean, I'm super excited for 0.13 patch. There's going to be so much great stuff.
Oh yeah, me too.
Cannot come soon enough. But yeah, that's kind of I mean, that's a decision that each person can make on their own personal preference. A trade-off for solar versus steam. Solar takes up more room, obviously, but you don't need to feed water and pipe to each of it, and you don't need to fuel it. And fuel can become an issue if you have hundreds of steam engines powering stuff, depending on your map, of course.
Alright, I just set the autosave to 20 minutes before we loaded, and we just hit 2 this episode, I think, so...
Yeah, we're at about 16 and a half minutes. So we have just a couple more minutes here, and these oil patches are really, really good up here.
These trees, though, are starting to make me angry.
Yeah, bit annoying. This guy here, this guy here.
Here's the target for you.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Oh yeah, and although we can't really show it while we're up here, the thing about the logistics network with what what we discovered, or well, Zuri already knew it, but I just figured it out, is that you if you blueprint something that uses like wires for a circuit condition, like we had our robot regulator on the Roboport. Zuri blueprinted it, and I noticed that they came and placed the wires, like the red and green wires, even though we didn't have them being made. And apparently, it just pulls them out of thin air. So you just get like free. I mean, you can't use that anywhere else, but it'll just pull the wires like out of thin air if you blueprint it and have the robots build it. Which is pretty interesting, potentially a bug. Because also if you like place down chests and then have a blueprint of them that has wires and paste it on top of this, the wires will just automatically appear. And I mean they are items that you would need to make, but apparently not with the logistics network.
Alright, that should be hooked up.
Yeah, let me just extend some local power here to it.
Can you imagine how annoying it would have been to run a train here or pipe it back?
Oh yeah, God, that would have been such a pain. Now, I mean, if you do this like all over the place, have these massive extended logistics networks, can't that become a problem at some point?
Well, you do have to be careful what you're using it for. Like, on my really huge saves, I'll divide up each continent into a single Roboport network and build like an oil pickup in the middle.
Okay.
And I'll have very, very small networks for mining. for mining outposts.
Right. That makes sense. So yeah, stuff like this, it's okay, but you certainly do not want to use your robots for transporting like ores back and forth across a huge network. Like Zuri said, having the little ones is fine, but like, for example, if we tried to mine out this iron and had this network extend all the way here and tried to have the robots transfer it back, it would not work out too good.
We may end up mining out some of these smaller iron patches that way.
Right.
But yeah, you don't want it as your main source of transportation across those kinds of distances.
Yep.
The work bots.
I'm gonna make this a level 3, actually speed it up a little bit. So that should hopefully help us catch up a bit here. They're taking it as fast as it's being made.
All right, I think we just doubled our oil inventory.
Oh yeah, these were some very good wells here. And I think with that, we probably are out of time at this point, so I think we're going to finish it up as Zuri takes his anger out on the trees.
Dude, rocks are the true enemy.
Yes, they are. Kill all the rocks. Alright, yeah, so that's going to be it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and hope it was helpful. Any questions, you know what to do, and we will see you next time.
Later.